Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Lion's Den. It is Wednesday, midweek. I hope you've had a good week so far. So, carrying on from the Astaroth Folio beginner team, I did part one. This is going to be part two. We are going to be looking at a basic starter, generic Eternity team. And yeah, we're just going to go through the priorities, what to look out for counters, and generically what it's pretty good against. Which, to be fair, is quite a lot. Iris Eternity teams are very strong. So first of all, the team that we're going to be looking at. So there are a few variations of the team in general that you can use. So the base you're probably going to have, let's go with a Corvus, Dante, Iris, Octavia. I think really this should be your main four, and then that fifth spot we're gonna interchange with a couple of heroes. You can have Faceless, you can have Tempus, you can have Morrigan. All three of those are pretty acceptable. Tempest, I would say, is probably the strongest of those, but I mean, Faceless and Iris are okay. They're still going to do the job. Iris is still going to kill like everyone. Obviously, some you can't kill everything with just this combination. You're going to mix in heroes. You're going to put Iris in other teams. If you've seen in my other videos, she's highly used with Luther, Salel, and a couple of others to take out quite a big variation of teams, mainly like Progress. But in general, yeah, very strong team. The only reason it's second on this list is purely because the first team, you don't need to go into any VIP shops to get the heroes. They're all very free to play friendly. This one is a little bit harder to get. So this is the main reason. So in Grand Arena, you've got Iris and Octavia. In Dungeon, you've got Corvus. Dante, you do have in a nice one in Tower. I don't think Tempus is in a shop. No, so Tempus is kind of like the big VIP one. But even so, Grand Arena, again, Iris and Octavia early can be a bit difficult depending on if we get a Way of Eternity event with a shop, a lot more useful. But yeah, overall, it is just a little harder to make this team straight off the bat. But definitely, if you want to get into this, you can't go wrong if you get it early. With that said, let's get on to the priorities. So we're going to go with like the base four, and then we're going to give you Morrigan and Tempest as well. So let's start off with the main tank to begin with. Let's start off with Corvus. You can use Dante as a tank. I actually do in my other account, but Corvus is absolutely fine to have. Probably more useful for countering other heroes like Yasmin, Kayla, even other irises, something like that. So it's fine either way. So Corvus, here he is, the big man himself, having a nice laugh. Let's just start from the top down. So skins wise, so he does have quite a few. So Corvus, what does he need? Strength. So 100% default is an absolutely fine starter for him. After that, you're probably going to want to be going health. His winter skin is the health one. This one. Can't remember if this is a super skin or not. Maybe not. I may have just got it confused there. So yeah, we're going to go default skin with the strength. We're going to go health. And then after that, really, armor is a decent shout. After that, I mean, that's up to you after that. We have magic defense and toughness as well. Toughness is always useful for tanks. It means they take reduced damage when they go to 50% life. So obviously for tanks, a much needed stat, to be honest. Magic defense, I don't know what it is about magic defense, but it never seems to be a high priority on basically anyone. Not really sure why, but that's what it is. And physical attack is definitely last. Not really needed at all, to be honest. You could probably stop way before that. If you're looking for like your first three, it should be strength, health, and then the armor and magic defense. After that, really it's not necessary for now, but you can definitely get them later on to help him out. Onto the artifacts. Very simple, this one. So Again, we need strength, we need health. So the ring, number one priority, get that done first. Then we're going to hang on to the book again, armor and magic defense. That's what all tanks need. And obviously, last we have the weapon, which gives armor. I mean, that's great, it's fine. But if you think about it, Eternity is quite a dodge based with like Dante and Octavia. So you're going to have a lot of dodge, so you'll be dodging a lot of the physical attacks anyway. So is armor really necessary? In my opinion, no. So ring, book, and then weapon. Obviously, then we go on to the glyphs. Again, very simple. You want the strength, you want the health, and then if you want to go on to the armor and magic defense, and then the physical attack. Again, you could stop just after strength, armor, strength, and the health for now if you really wanted, and then look at your other heroes and come back to these later. That's my opinion anyway. Sparks of power, they will be your main thing for Corvus. Get those max on him first because it brings, again, more strength. He needs more health. He needs more defense. Why do we say the health over the armor and the magic defense? That is because of the Altar of Souls. So the more health your Corvus has, the more health your altar has, and it will do more damage to the enemy team. This is Corvus's, I would say, primary use, to be honest, out of all of them. The other abilities are okay. He can increase physical magic damage, but that just doesn't seem to be an amount that really matters. And then you've got the defense where he can teleport someone. I don't think I've ever seen this. I think maybe like one or twice in the years he's been out. So yeah, that's why we go health over the armor and magic defense. So yeah, that's Corvus done. Let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to Mr. Dante himself, the Dodge Man of Eternity. So again, we'll start with the skins. So again, has quite a few. So I think you can go two ways. As I've said in like all my videos, I don't mind the generic agility skin first. If you have unlocked the physical attack, that's absolutely fine. He does have two physical attack skins, so you can either go agility, physical attack, default, physical attack, health. Or if you do have the physical attack skins unlocked, you can go physical attack, can't even speak today, default, and then the health. The reason we go for the physical attack is his abilities, as you'll see here. All of this is based on his physical attack. So he's going to deal more damage with his ult. It's going to increase the dodge of your whole team. More damage from the sphere that he does. Spear, oh my lord. From the retribution. And the shackles. This will reduce the main stat of normally the tank, and that means you can get through easier with your attacks. So this is why we go physical attack first on Dante. This just helps your team overall in all aspects. Sorry for not being able to talk properly. I can't say physical apparently today. Then we go on to the artifacts. Just a word, the reason we don't go dodge or magic defense at the beginning, dodge he generically gives and will help with Octavia, and the magic defense, again, is just quite a low needed skin in general at the beginning. No need to do it. So once you've got in a combination of the physical attack skins, the agility, and the health, you probably want to stop there until much later on. Work on others, it's not as important. Then we go on to his artifacts. So, again, first of all, again, the priority is going to be the ring. This gives agility, which gives physical attack. And again, as we saw, this increases all of his abilities and will help your team do damage. Then next, we're actually going to go for the weapon. It's going to help your team dodge, and that's what you need. With the dodge and the abilities kicking off, it's a very hard team to stop once everyone starts dodging, everyone starts gaining energy, and yeah, much harder. The reason we have the book last is the dodge for him you don't really need that. The health is fine, but overall, the impact on him and his abilities, you're going to want the other two first. That's why we don't do the book until last. As for glyphs, again, we're going to go physical attack, we're going to go agility, we're going to go health, and then the dodge and armor much later on if needed. Again, for the same reasons as the skins and the artifacts, it's just priority on what helps your team the most. Yeah, Dante, pretty straightforward. Sparks, probably not going to be the highest priority after Corvus. You probably want to throw that on Iris. So yeah, wouldn't do Sparks on Dante straight off. Then we'll jump onto our other support. That is Octavia. She is a massive component of this team. So if you can get her early, much needed. Again, she's pretty simple. We will start with the skins as the others. Again, she has 2 physical attack skins. She has agility, health, and dodge. So again, because of what she does and what she brings to the team, you need the physical attack. So we're going to go physical attack. We're going to go the default, again, that just because it also gives physical attack, health, and then really don't need to touch the dodge skin at all, again, much later on. The key 3, I would say, is the 2 physical attack skins and the agility. Again, this is just because of her skills, and this improves the skills, which will also benefit your team much more. As for artifacts, here they are. So it's different this time. So your main priority for her will be the weapon. This is because Octavia gains quite a lot of energy, so she's going to be spamming her ult, which means she's going to be spamming dodge. This with Dante using his dodge mechanics as well, this just kind of creates a loop of dodging and then giving energy, and then you're dodging and it's more energy. It's a cycle. That is how this team works. It's very, very strong. So weapon first, make sure you get that done. Make sure it helps your team. Obviously, then we're going to go on to the ring. Again, agility gives physical attack. This helps your team. And then the last but not least, the book. Again, this is mainly because Octavia can't be targeted with like skills and abilities until like her team's dead. That's one of her last ability. So she doesn't need the health because she's not going to be hit. And she doesn't need the dodge because she won't be hit. So this is why this is pretty unnecessary in the whole scheme of things. As for glyphs, you guessed it, physical attack, agility, and then health. The other 2, yeah, again, don't really need it. You could even probably skip the health at the beginning, work on others. So yeah, Octavia, nice and easy. Then we're going to have the last member of the team, the core. There she is, Iris. She's your damage dealer. She's going to be the one killing everything in about 6 seconds. So this shouldn't be too hard to guess. So let's start with the skins. I haven't got her relic to 10, but we'll do it outside of relics. This is a much later on thing. So skins, very simple this one really. She has 2 magic attack skins. So they're obviously going to be the first use. You've got magic attack. The intelligence skin, again, gives more magic attack. And then you have the health and the magic crit. Depending on how your Iris is doing, you could go the magic crit over health. The magic crit is quite a low chance. I can't give the exact data, but overall, having the plain magic attack so she does more damage consistently, and having the health so she stays alive, it's going to be much more important than like a 1% chance of having a crit. So yeah, that's how it'd go. Magic attack, default, and then the health or magic crit, whichever one you kind of feel like. As for artifacts, again, very simple how this one's going to go. So we're going to go book. She needs the magic attack, simple as that, and the health is always helpful for her. Then we're going to go for the weapon. When she ults, she gets an extra 32,000 extra magic attack. Obviously, very useful. And then the ring, again, this just converts into magic attack, so it's an overall just decent benefit. Overall, to be fair, all three of these are pretty decent, but obviously, priority-wise, that's what you want to go for. We're going from top to, we're going middle, top, and bottom. Onto the glyphs, this is going to be, again, very easy. We're going to be going magic attack, we're going to go default, and then health. Again, magic pen is okay. You could throw that in before health maybe if you've gone health on the other routes. So you could go magic attack, default, magic pen, and then the health. If you've got health elsewhere, no real need to up it here. The magic penetration will probably be a lot more useful in general. In this team, I think you'll see there isn't actually any magic penetration heroes or anyone that helps with that. So that's why you need to be careful. But I think having that glyph is pretty useful. Yeah, as easy as that for Iris. So that is your, I would say, core 4. This is what you're going to be using, and then you can add in a bunch of heroes, to be fair, with the last one. You got Orion, you've got Faceless, Tempus, Morrigan, Nebula, but to go for like the generic ones, you're probably going to be going Faceless, Tempus, or Morrigan. They're probably going to be your 3. So let's start with Faceless first. Probably the weaker 5th out of these, but at the beginning, it's useful to have him just to stun and just to get people out of the way for your Iris. So it's never a bad thing, just not as strong. This is going to be a very quick roundup because Faceless is going to be the one you don't need any investment on. Obviously some gear to keep him up, make sure he's alive. Skins wise, you don't need any of these. I mean, the magic attack and crit and pen will help, but in general, it's just not going to be needed. The health skin's going to be handy to keep him alive, but really, apart from the health skin at the beginning, Faceless doesn't really need to be touched. Just leave him how he is. As for artifacts, we're not going to touch the book or the ring. Don't need them. We can just go for the weapon. The weapon, magic penetration, really amazing for Iris. If they're alive when Faceless actually does his ult, that's going to be the problem. Iris kills things very quickly, so I don't know if Faceless is going to have time. But yeah, Faceless, very unnecessary to level him and use a bunch of resources on him when you don't really need it. As for glyphs, again, you could just go for health and leave it there if needs be, just to keep him alive. That is basically about it. Let's move on to Morrigan. I barely use her. There you go. She's all the way down there at the moment. So, Morrigan comes in handy for a various amount of things. Blocking resurrection is her main thing. When Iris kills someone, they can't get back up because Morrigan blocks them. Very useful against teams when you kill their DPS first, say like a Kayla, so Aiden can't resurrect. Things like that. Rufus won't be able to resurrect if you've got Morrigan. So there are ways that she's very useful. But overall, she's pretty niche. I would say you don't see it as much anymore compared to others. She's also going to be pretty cheap to build. Let's go skins-wise. All she's going to need from this is the health skin and the magic attack skins. That's all she's really going to need. The magic reflection, it's a very niche stat at the moment. It just doesn't seem to really do the job. It doesn't reflect back much, so wasting a whole skin just for a very minimal gain isn't really worth it. So yeah, to be honest, just get the health, get the magic attacks. That's all she needs. It helps with her skills, which is going to help your team. Apart from that, you don't need to touch any of the others. As for artifacts, again, this is going to be very quick. Let's have a look. So we're going to go book, and that's basically all she needs. You only really need the book. Later on, you're going to swap and go to the ring, and then you go to the weapon. Again, she has an armor penetration weapon, Why do you need that when you've got Iris? Iris is magic. This is why this is not a priority. So you want to go book, and then much later on, ring and weapon. Very easy, very cheap to build, so very useful for what she does, basically. As for glyphs, again, health and the magic attack. That's basically all she needs. If you want to go intelligence for the extra magic attack, sure, but just those two will probably do the job for now. Yeah, Morrigan, very easy, same as Faceless. So last but not least, we have probably the strongest fifth, I would say, and that is Tempus. Tempus helps Iris do her damage and increases the debuff, which means everything dies a lot quicker. So this is why we go with Tempus. But let's have a look at him and go through the priorities. So skins-wise, again, Mini only has a couple, so that's nice and easy. The armor isn't needed. So literally just the magic attack, the default, and then the health if you need it. Health isn't really needed. Yeah, I would probably just stick with the magic attack and the intelligence and leave it there. As for the artifacts, you probably guessed it again. We're gonna go the book, the magic attack and health, both really help him stay alive and help his abilities. The weapon, a magic attack again for the team. Your whole team is magic based, obviously, except for Corvus. Your main damage dealer is magic, so why wouldn't you get magic attack? And then ring, not as important, but still, obviously, this is going to give magic attack, which helps his abilities. So we're going to go book, weapon, and ring. As for the skins, again, same thing. Magic attack, health, and intelligence. Those three are the ones that you're going to need. The others, not so much. But yeah, I would say not Corvus. Tempus is probably the best fifth if you can get him early compared to Morrigan and Faceless. Faceless is probably the worst. So the last thing we will check out is the counters and what we got to look out for. So let's say this is your main team. Again, we can have Faceless or Morrigan. Doesn't really matter in terms of counters. But the heroes you're going to have to look out for are, number one, this guy, Mr. Goose. He will not die to Iris's bitey, and more than likely will heal your team, heal the other team, and probably count you in general. It's not 100%. Obviously, at the beginning, it's dependent on his health and how much damage your Iris does, but in general, trying to avoid Goose is a good idea. The second person you want to add to that is Octavia herself. So if you're running Octavia Iris into another Octavia, realistically your Iris is going to die and you're probably not going to have the DPS to finish off the job. So don't run Iris into Octavia, she will die pretty quickly. The third counter we're going to put up is Corvus. Corvus, again, he's not a huge counter, especially if you're using Dante. So how the altar works is Corvus will put his altar up. Dante can use his ability to spear him and reduce his health. That in turn will reduce the altar and decrease how much damage it does to Iris. So Dante is quite a good counter to Corvus. So not a hard counter, but I still wouldn't recommend throwing Iris into him. It might not work out well. So counter number 3, Corvus. Try to avoid. Another one there, another tank is Rufus. The reason for that is, pretty obvious. Rufus is, all he does is shield against magic damage. So if he gets his shield up, it's going to make it very hard for you to kill the rest of the team. Obviously, as I said with the Morrigan, if you've got Morrigan, it won't make a difference. Iris will just kill Rufus. That won't make a difference. But if Rufus gets his shield up in time and stops the rest of the team getting hit, then you're going to have a problem. I don't think you're going to see Rufus much in the lower teams. I think you're going to see a lot of Astaroths and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to see much Rufus, but in general, if you can, try to avoid Rufus. The fifth kind of counter I would say to try and avoid from is Lian. So Iris will do a bunch of damage to your team. To their team, sorry. Lian will then put you to sleep. Iris will do a lot of damage, but Iris's sleep, especially if you knock her down to low enough health, she will then put your whole team to sleep. That's not good. If Iris is the only one that's done damage and the rest of your team hasn't done anything, the other team are going to counter with ults and take you down pretty quickly. So I would say these are probably the 5 main ones, I would say. There are some slight other ones, but that is very dependent on your team. I will have a quick look at them. So Yasmin. Yasmin can be a counter to your team because if you don't have the armor on her, she will be the target of Yasmin. So Yasmin will target Iris, kill her instantly. Obviously, this can be countered with having Corvus, because Corvus's altar will hit Yasmin every time she attacks. So if she jumps over and starts going to town on Morrigan, the altar will go to town on Yasmin, and you kind of have a trade-off. But in that time, if she kills Iris, you're going to be in trouble. So Yasmin, not too bad, but if you can, I would avoid her, at least at the beginning. The last one is a little niche, but can be an issue, and that's Julius and Aiden together as a team. You'll probably see them mixed with Kayla, probably something along those lines, but that's because Julius, if he gets his shield up before you kill him, Aiden then will increase the healing because Aiden is built around shields and healing. So them two together increases the shields and the health of your team. So it can be a counter, but overall I think Julius by himself and Aiden by himself isn't going to be a problem. So if you see this, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. This might be a bit more of a problem. Running Iris against Kayla can be a bit dodgy, but if you're throwing in Corvus as well, again, an AoE hitter like Kayla will jump over, Corvus's altar will retaliate to all the hits, and with the Iris damage before she jumps, you're going to kill her very quickly. So yeah, not a bad one, but on the caution side, I would go not against these two. Apart from that, there isn't much weakness against this team. It is a very strong team that kills a lot, but there are quite a lot of mid counters that can affect it. So that's probably going to be the only issue with the team. But overall, it's going to kill nature, it's going to kill progress. Mystery with like a mirror and Satori can be a little dodgy. So overall, Iris team, very decent. So yeah, I mean, that just about sums up the priority guide for this team. I would probably say it's one of the stronger beginner teams. It doesn't need much adaptation, which is great. It will just kill what it kills. But at the same point, what it counters, what it gets countered by, it's going to be countered by. There isn't too much you can do to change that. Later on, you can do things to counter your counter, but as we're talking about early starter game, there's no point in getting into that. Overall, very strong team. I would put it in this series, I would probably put it as the strongest. The Folio team from part 1, I would say, is much better when it gets to the progress version, which is Judge Julius, Isaac, Folio, Polaris. That is a very strong endgame that will last you at the moment until now. It beats so much of the meta right now. But at the beginning, overall, I think Iris with Octavia is going to be a very strong team. The only other thing that you have, I would say, as a priority if you can, and that is get Octavia's class glyph, the support class. So, I mean, you can read it here. Each time when dealing damage to an opponent or using a buff on allies, it applies effect on all enemies for 4 seconds that reduces armor and magic defense by 5. So this is going to help Iris do a load more damage because they won't have any magic defense. So this is very important. As you can see, I just unlocked it once, and then I went on to my other ones. And as you can see, I just got it for Octavia. She's 45, done. I don't need to do any more. So for me, don't forget that. If you can get that early, that's amazing. It's not a bad use for your rune spheres at the beginning, and then obviously you'll go on to Iris. But yeah, overall, very strong team. Let me know what you think. Good team. I hope the priorities help you. I know a lot of people ask for this. I mean, eventually, I guess one day we will do a whole priority guide for every faction. That could take a while, so I don't think that will be on the agenda yet, but maybe in time. We still have part 3. I think the third part is Kaydan, I think. Kayla Aiden teams. Another very strong third team, I reckon. If you don't want to do the magic side, you can do the physical side, and I think this is where Kayla and Aiden come into. But yeah, overall, I hope this helps, guys. Any questions about this team or counters or anything, I don't mind. Throw it in the comments. Obviously, I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. I do constantly look at my notifications, so I will get back to you when I see it. But for now, that will do it. I will probably have my giveaway within maybe next week or so, and the Royal video is coming this weekend. Us v HBO, HBO v Eclipse, the big one. Can't wait to see how that goes. But until next time, guys, appreciate it as always. I will see you next time.